Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an exciting new launch for you guys. The Anastasia Norvina Collection Volume 5. I was not expecting this to come to my door so quickly. I didn't know if I would get it. Sometimes I get Anastasia Beverly Hills PR and sometimes I do not. So I was very excited when I got this postage and then I opened this up. Let me tell you, I had a horrible with a capital horrible day yesterday, and it's true. Sometimes makeup can just lift you up. I was playing with this and my mood just kept improving, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. So yes, this was sent to me in PR. I'm gonna get into 3 different looks, although I could have done 10, 20 and been like just on this whole vibe, but yeah, you wouldn't have gotten the video for a little while. I'm going to compare it to previous palettes. I'm gonna show you guys the swatches. I'm gonna give you all of the information, and so yeah, let's start with that and then we'll get into the 3 different looks. So I present to you Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Volume 5, and it's purple, and it is the best kind of purple. I thought I liked the way that this looked online, but I love it in person. Oh, I can't even tell you. I hope this resonates on camera because it's truly gorgeous. There was one shade, just one shade, that did break in transportation, this one right here, but because of the type of shade it was, I was able literally to just press it back together. I'm gonna take isopropyl alcohol and then like really press it back in there, but I wanted to wait until I was done with the video. And anyway, this is what the palette looks like, and it's gorgeous. And yeah, let me get into the details. As of today, when I'm filming, it is not available on Sephora, but I suspect that it will be. But I just don't know. I don't know when. It's volume 5, but it's the Lilac Palette, and it's a professional grade artistry palette featuring 25 deluxe sized high performance shades with a gorgeous lilac color story for creating soft to artistic looks. And it retails for $60 on the Anastasia Beverly Hills website. All right, I'm going to show you guys the swatches. I'm not going to read to you each of the descriptions because there's a lot, but there are a few shades in this palette that are not meant to be used on the eye. So I want to tell you those as I'm showing you guys the swatches. Shades A3, A4, A5, B2, B3, B4, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, D2, D4, D5, E1, E2, E3, and E5 are not intended for use around the immediate eye area. I have marked all of those shades with a star so you didn't have to like try and find the letters and whatnot. But the reason being is some pigments are not approved for use around the eyes here in the US. Some of them can cause staining, glitter especially. You have to be careful with that. They can't say, hey, put this right on your eyelids and then yeah, have fun, because it could cause either irritation, you could cut your eye. Even if you're using cosmetic grade glitter, you still have to say that it's not meant for the eye area. So that is why that is there, and that is also why this cannot be called an eyeshadow palette. It is a pro pigment palette. So with that being said, you use these palettes at your own risk. I personally have never had an issue with any of them, but if you have sensitivities to like red, you know, it's like those purpley pinks and reds and whatnot, and you get teary-eyed, it might happen with this palette here. I personally did not experience that, but that doesn't mean that you won't. So just, I'm doing my due diligence right now and telling you that, yeah, You're not supposed to do it. Don't do as I do. Do what you want to do. Okay? Okay. With that being said, I am now going to go ahead and get into the 3 different eye looks, and then I'm going to share my thoughts and some comparisons. For the first look, I'm going to start off in the first row, grabbing the shade A4 on a Zoeva 227. Placing this on the outer portion of my lid, the whole outer half, and then blending upward. This palette is so pretty. Like, the internet pictures do not do this palette justice. It truly doesn't. I'm looking at this palette like I can do a million different looks because it's not overly, it looks more purple on the online pictures, and then in person it's like, oh my gosh. There's these browns, like these chocolatey browns that you can add in that have like this slight hint of purple, kind of like this one right here, which probably is coming off a little bit more purple on camera. But I'm just like, I could go everywhere on this palette. Anywho, this blended out easy. You saw that was one dip. Didn't have to do anything else with it. Took it into my crease and up as my transition shade. I'm going to go directly beside that and grab the shade A5 on the same brush. I'm going to further deepen up the outer lid and crease area. I'm going to take the excess and further bring this on the inner portion of the corner right here. Again, I only dipped one time, but I don't knock off the excess from my brush. I try not to pick up too much, but I don't like to knock off my brush. Unless I absolutely have to. MAC 239S in the shade B5. This is a metallic. I'm going to pop it all over the lid. I'm using it dry. Taking a little bit of that same shade on my Zoeva 227 because I want to push it up into the crease so I don't have a harsh line where the metallic starts. But I'm going to be covering it up with glitter anyway. You don't have to. You could leave it as a smoky eye, but there's a glitter in here that I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want it on my eye right now. Again, same shade. I'm using a Bristles Beauty pencil brush. I'm just going right along the lower lash line. And I didn't even get this wet. Normally I get my metallics wet for the lower lash line, and I don't know, there's just something about the quality of this. It's a little bit thinner, had a lot of pigmentation, and I didn't think I needed to, and I was right. I got a little bit of fallout, but that will dust right away. Lunar Beauty E4, I'm going in with the shade C4, placing this on the inner corner before I add the glitter. Now with my finger, I'm taking the shade D2, placing this all over my lid. Oh my god, it is so pretty. It has great adherence. I'm not using anything to get this to stick to my eye. It's just opaque and just grabbing straight a hold. Oh, it's so nice. 227 just to clean up a little bit of the glitter that might have gotten where I didn't want it to. A2 on our REPHR number 21. I'm going to highlight, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Highlight my brow arch, blending it into the purple. REPHR number 3 in the shade E5. I'm going to use this to stamp right along my lash line, giving a smokier appearance to my lashes if I were to put mascara on, but I'm not going to because I'm just going to wash this off. Taking a little bit of that right along the lower lash line as well. And that will complete this look. I'm going to go ahead and start on the other eye. Bristles Beauty EO2 RL and the shade B3. Taking this directly into the crease. Oh my gosh, look at that pigmentation. And this is a purple. And that might not mean something to some of you, but purples are hard to do. And I am just like, yes! I'm slightly elated. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to bring it all the way in. Why not? Most of the way in. Just going back and forth right now before I go tiny circular motions to blend it out, as there's less product on my brush. Wayne Goss number 6 C3 directly into the crease. I'm serious. Look at this pigmentation. Back and forth. I'm gonna have to wipe off my brush. And then tiny circles. This one I am taking all the way to the very inner corner. REPHR 14, I'm going in with the shade D3. I'm going to place this on the outer corner. I'm going to go lightly into the crease, but I don't want to cover up all of that last purple that I did. REPHR 21 C2, packing this on the lid. You guys, I am so impressed with this palette. I am so impressed. This has got to be my favorite one that they have done, that Norvina has done. Oh my gosh, I love this. Spoiler alert! Unless something drastic changes, I mean, dang. I'm going to take the shade C3 on a REPHR number 3, drag this right along the lower lash line. Flat definer from Sonia G. I'm going to go in with shade B1. Instead of going, oh my god. Instead of going all over the lid with this little glitter, I'm just going to pop it on the inner corner. Oh my gosh. I'm amused right now. I'm sorry. REPHR 21 and a little bit of A1. And that reminds me, I want steak. Ooh, pigment. Wipe off a little bit, and I'm going to highlight this brow arch very softly. I'm going to finish off this look by taking D3 wet on a REPHR number 3 and applying just a little bit of that right on the outside corner, about halfway in. Now this could be your finished look, but I'm going to go one step further, grabbing the shade B2 on a REPHR number 14. And I'm just going to take this lightly and blend it on the outer corner. This is just in case you want to. In case you want to. But I'm not going to do anything else. Going into the final look, I'm starting off with E4 on a REPHR number 2. I'm placing this on the outer corner, or outer half of the lid. I feel like I could just keep going. I'm having so much fun with this palette that I feel like I just do look after look after look. I'm looking at the palette thinking, oh, I could do this, I could do this. And it's really refreshing Taking this into the crease, and then I'm going to grab a little bit more product and bring it higher up on the outer corner. I have yet to encounter a shade that I'm just like, oh, you're a dud. I love it. I love the color scheme. I know this is a spoiler, but I'm just having a lot of fun with this palette. I truly am. Going ahead and taking that same shade on a REPHR number 3, just taking it all along the lower lash line. Next up, E2 on a Nakia Joy E06. Placing this on the outer lid. And I'll be taking it into the crease as well. Bringing it slightly upward to smoke it out. And again, I'm taking that shade and going just a little closer to the lower lash line on a REPHR number 3. MAC 221 going in with the shade C5. I'm going to place this just on this very outer corner. I want to add some depth before I add the shine. Slightly into the crease, but not like I did with the last shade. REPHR 21 in the shade A2. I'm placing this all over the front lid, and then I'm going to dab over that last shade. I also kind of want to push this upward right up here. REPHR 21 and A1, and I mean just the tiniest little bit because this is so pigmented. I'm going to put that there, wipe it on my shoulder. I have a robe on, I don't care about. And then I'm going to blend this out to highlight the brow arch. And then lastly, I'm going to go in with the Lunar Beauty E7 and the shade E1. Highlighting the inner corner, bringing it slightly up over in the inner corner. And then I'm going to go add on liner and mascara. I'm going to touch up this outer corner just a little bit because I noticed it wasn't as dark as the other side. And then I'm going to go add on inner rim liner and mascara. I finished off this eye look. I did end up going back in with, hold on, I don't remember the letter. Letter and number. I went in with E5, this lash shade right here, and just stamped it right across the lash line just so that I would have a little bit more zhuzh, make my eyelashes look a little thicker. I used it as liner and then I called it a day. Oh, and I put inner rim liner mascara. That is all. In case you couldn't tell, I am absolutely head over heels. Not only do I think that this is the best one out of the Pro Pigment palettes that have been released, but this is one of the best Anastasia, Beverly Hills, Norvina, whatever palettes that have been done through the line. This is definitely top 5. I mean, I am in love with this. I am so in love with this that it's going to sit on top of my Cosmo cube right here because I don't have any room in my drawer for my top drawer, but I definitely have room to put this on top. Now this does look like it's going to be a palette that is just, ooh, that's too much for a day. But it's not. Like, I would wear this absolutely out and not feel like I'm wearing too much color. Like, this is just a little bit of color. It's summer, it's fun, it's springy, whatever. It's just really, really nice. But then if you look down, like these shades right here, very easy daily eye looks out of those, and then you can just add in little pops if you want to. Having this shade in here is just absolutely genius. This shade, and this shade, you don't have like this colorful eye look. You have this subdued but like with a little sparkle, a little added something something for an eye look. I love this palette and I love the glitter. Oh my gosh, the adherence is so good. It's so good. It goes on and then it does not come off. No fallout. Well, you might get a little bit. I didn't have mine on all day, obviously, but I didn't have it go all over my face. And then when I washed my face, I used the Tatcha One Step Camilla Cleansing Oil, washed my face, and then I went in with my second cleanse, and I didn't have glitter all over my face. I'm trying to wipe this off on my pants. It doesn't want to come off. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You guys, I have to readjust. I'm really excited about this. I 100% absolutely recommend this palette. If you're going to ask me, I mean, I'm hyped. I haven't been this hyped in a little bit. I can get really excited, but like I'm really excited about this. I'm going to show you guys some comparisons, but just keep in mind that if you do have reactions to reds and purples and whatnot, this might not be the best palette for you, but if you don't, oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, let's start off with, I think the one that everybody was commenting about. I was just talking to Miss Kelsey Brianna Bay, and I think it was this one. Nothing alike, you guys. This is the ABH Norvina Collection Volume 1, the original purple palette. Ma'am, you better step over because you've been replaced. You have been replaced. Look at this. Not the same. This one is so much more subdued, so much more just like wearable. These are more, the bottom one's more neon. This one is just like lilac and just softer. So if you have this one, you're not going to have a bunch of repeats. Yeah, some of the purples are going to be the same, but overall, they are two totally different palettes. I'm going to go through a few more for good measure. This one right here is volume 4. I actually really like this one. This one's really pretty. I think it's closer to this than the purple one was. These palettes are really big, you guys. All right, hold on. Oh my gosh, they go all the way out. I did not know that. All right, so let's see. All right, here you go. You see those side by side. I think this one is more similar, but this one's definitely more on the purpley lilac side. This one has more pink to it down here. Oh, they're so pretty. I don't really think we need to compare volume 3. That's just assuming. And I also don't think we need to compare volume 2. So now I'm going to get into a few of the smaller palettes, the Anastasia palettes, just so that you guys can see. Obviously, I want to show you guys Norvina. This one to me is like a softer, it's like a pastel. It's similar, but not the same. It's not the same. Let me show you side by side. So this one, it has shades like, okay, like this purpley shade would be similar to this, but let me show you. Finger, and then I'm even going to get this one down here. They're not the same. You see how much brighter this one is? And then, like, I'm looking in the mirror so I can see this shade right here, and then like the one that I used on my eye today. This one's a bit darker. This one is lighter. So you're not going to have a bunch of repeating shades. I think this is a complementary palette. Let me look at this and this. Oh, I love the textures of the pigment. So you see how much darker this one is in that palette. So good. Oh, I love it. I'm sorry, I'm like head over heels over here. And I do find that this one tends to be a little bit warmer with the transition shades, whereas this one's more cool toned or like neutral, more cool. And then Ambrizzi. I feel like this is like a whole vibe right here. There we go. I think this one is darker than this one here. Let's say like this shade right here, see that, and then this one, see, there's just these subtle differences, but they make a big difference on the eyes. I would have loved if they put Barb in here. I mean, I know you they couldn't do that because this is a collaboration palette, but that's my favorite shade in the Amrezy. And then the one, the only JACLYN. This is the one that I would pair together the most because I think this adds that extra depth and the fun, like this green shade and everything. Again, not the same, but I'm just like, these two together are like heaven to me. I love the JACLYN palette. Oh my gosh, I love it. So this is right up there with Jackie. It's not, okay, I don't like this one more than Jackie, but it's right up there with it. And it's right up there with Mario. That should tell you how much I love this palette. It worked so effortlessly. It blended, it was pigmented. The colors are just amazing. I am excited. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I've got like chills. This is so much better than, like, I just got the makeup wipes. I'm like, Anastasia, why? You know, and I was really let down. I was like, I'm falling out of love with Anastasia Beverly Hills. And then this happens. I'm like, yes, bring it back in. I am rooting for Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is definitely the comeback palette. If you ask me, it's the comeback palette. I'm excited. I am so excited. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed the looks that I created. I hope you found my comparisons helpful. And yeah, if you decide to pick this up, you won't be disappointed. But I don't know. I love you guys. I love you guys. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.